Ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious topic and a serious breaking news story. And yeah, I don't even know really how to start this video, but yeah, man, the Dimebag Darrell estate is suing Dean Guitars, and it's heavy duty. It's kind of messy. Let's get into it. Before we talk about this kind of somber, messy, downer of a news story, if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much in advance. And thanks to everybody tuning back in. I really appreciate it. Now, let's get into this news story. So what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. My name's Ray. I'm a guitar player here on YouTube, and I can't believe I'm reporting on this news story. Yes, man, it's true. The Dimebag estate, Rita and the the Dime team, whatever you want to call it, man, just the estate. The Dime Camp is suing Dean Guitars. Now, I want to preface this video with kind of some ground rules and some, I don't know, some things, some housekeeping things, I guess you'll say, because this is a very messy story and it deals with legal stuff and people's livelihoods and, you know, the deceased. So it's a very touchy subject, and I don't want to. I'm going to do my very best to try to keep it as very factual as possible and not really, give my opinion and my emotions, in this, because, it's messy, man. It really is. When you're dealing about somebody's unfortunate passing and dealing with Dime, who was arguably, probably definitively the most tragic, death in rock and roll history, in my opinion, it can get pretty nasty. So with that being said, I'm going to try to just keep it as factual as possible. And one final thing, I do have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, surprise, surprise, but I have zero knowledge about how the law works and like law school stuff, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what I'm talking about on a, how the law works level. This is literally just reporting it as a fan of the guitar community and just, reporting on Dimebag Darrell, okay? Let's dive in. So in case you're unaware of what's going on, I'm going to give you a summary first, and then we'll go into the actual lawsuit, and I'll give you the important parts, the important bullet points of what I think, stand out to me the most, and I think the majority of people, what people are really hanging on to. So, enough rambling, let's get to the chase. So, Rita, Dimebag's longtime girlfriend, was his personal assistant and heavily involved with his life when he was alive. And she, was really involved with the endorsement that was going on with Dean Guitars. Right before Dimebag was ultimately murdered, he signed a contract and signed a new deal with Dean Guitars, going back to Dean Guitars, and he was so excited. These are her words. He was super stoked, and it felt like coming home, right? So, unfortunately, tragically, he lost his life, was murdered on stage. Absolutely terrible. And his brother, Vinny, was then in charge of the estate alongside with his father. So Rita was no longer in charge and no longer in the picture with the business decisions. Cut to the chase, Vinny unfortunately passes away in 2018, and Rita now is back in charge and now is the head of the estate. So, unbeknownst to her, while Vinny was in charge and after Dime had passed on, there were some business deals and basically some watering down of the endorsement and cutting royalties and not giving Dime the credit he deserved, compared to the initial endorsement deal that was signed in 2004 while Dimebag was still alive. These are her words, since Dimebag passed on, the Abbott estate and the Abbott family was manipulated by Dean Guitars and Armadillo Enterprises to where it wasn't, they weren't giving the estate as much money. That's basically the nuts and bolts of what happened in Rita's eyes and that side of the story. So when Rita was reinstated as the head of the estate, we'll call it, I don't know the technical term, she found out about all this and wanted to right those wrongs and wanted to try to get the royalties and the earnings back up to where they were back when she was involved in 2004. That created a conflict, and also too, there's apparently some trademarks going on where the Razorback and the Stealth shapes, the Razorback guitar and the Stealth guitar, were trademarked by Dean Guitars, unbeknownst to Rita, and the initial contract and the initial endorsement said that was not allowed. Those were Dimebag shapes. Again, this is all speculation. This is all what I'm interpreting and how I'm doing my very best to report it to you. So that's just the very messy summary of what's going on. Like I said, very messy, very serious, and very just a bummer, you know what I mean? So before we talk about read a statement on the dimebagdaryl.com site, as well as a lawsuit, Dean Guitars did in fact put up a story, an Instagram story, saying, you know, their, I guess their piece, their side, you know, just trying to voice their, you know, make their voice heard, I guess. Again, I apologize for stuttering and mumbling and stumbling over this in this video, guys. This is something that I'm very borderline uncomfortable with reporting because, again, it's very messy and it's very, very touchy and it's very serious. You know what I mean? This isn't like casual, lighthearted fun. This is heavy-duty stuff. Anyway, the statement reads, from Evan, we have always treated Dime and his brother, Vinny, with the utmost respect and loyalty. We have enjoyed a long-standing 17-year relationship with Dime and Vinny and continue that relationship with Vinny's estate on the D-Drum side. We are shocked and saddened to see the actions that Mrs. Haney has taken after both the Abbott brothers have tragically passed away, and we wish her the best in her future endeavors. However, it is unfortunate that Mrs. Haney has allowed her unrealistic demands and accusations to dictate the future of the Dimebag Darrell legacy in the absence of Dime's immediate family. Dean Guitars is proud to have played a role in ensuring Dime's legacy not only survived but thrived over the past 17 years. We have stood by the estate through good and bad. Mrs. Haney's claims, across the board, are baseless, without any merit, and not grounded in reality. We will allow the full truth to come out as the legal process takes its course. Evan Rubinson. Like I said, man, heavy duty stuff. So he's saying, you know, the claims are you know, baseless and have no real factual and can't, like, you know, hold water. What's that saying? Like, it doesn't hold water. It doesn't hold any merit. That's his side of the story. That's Dean's side of the story. Now, up on your screen right now, this is on dimebagdaryl.com. Should I read the whole thing? I don't think so. It's long, it's wordy, it's 2 pages long. Basically, it's summarizing what I already told you in the beginning of this video. The one thing that stands out and the one real, like, kind of jab and the one real harsh part of this statement, I mean, it's all harsh, but right here, I've made several attempts to amicably settle our dispute with Dean Guitars. However, it became clear to me that Dimebag's relationship with Dean Guitars had come to an end at the end when the new CEO of Dean Guitars told me that Dime had been dead for 16 years and they could not make the money they once did. In quotation marks. So basically, he's used up, question mark. And then they continued on to tell me I should go somewhere else. Well, we will. I don't know, man, but again, you guys see what I'm saying? Like, you guys feel my, like, my unwillingness to really talk about this, and it's like, it's messy, dude, you know? It's rough. Those are the two sides. Now, the actual lawsuit is here. It is long, it is wordy, it is very, very hard to follow. You know what I mean? Like, it's the legal documents are very, like, they're worded weird. They're not really like how people speak. They're very formal and very just, you know, complicated. So I'm going to do my best to present to you guys the facts of her claims and what she's claiming that happened with Dean Guitars and what Dean Guitars wrongfully did, okay? On or about November 11th, 2004, defendant Dean Guitars entered into an endorsement agreement with Abbott under which Abbott agreed to endorse a signature line of guitars made by defendant Dean Guitars and under which Abbott licensed his name, likeness, photographs, and endorsement in connection with defendant Dean Guitars' manufacture, distribution, advertisement, promotion, and sales of such signature line of Dean Guitars and related equipment and products, which agreement was amended by instrument dated October 9th, 2008, the original endorsement agreement. The original endorsement agreement also authorized the endorsement of a clothing line. Basically, the initial endorsement right before Dime passed on December 8th, this was the agreement. You know, we were going to come out with a signature line of guitars. We can use your photographs. We can use pictures of you playing the guitar, and then, you know, it's an exclusive deal. That's basically what's going on. This is big right here, point 17. The original endorsement agreement also expressly stated that Dean Guitars acquired no rights in the trademark or designs for the Stealth guitar or the Razorback guitar. So these are shapes, Dimebag shapes, right? We were very familiar with these. And upon termination of the agreement would cease selling the guitar. Okay. So on or about April 2014, Abbott's estate reinstated and amended the original endorsement agreement with Dean Guitars. The original agreement and the reinstated endorsement agreement are collectively referred to as the endorsement agreement. So they re-upped, revamped, revived the endorsement in 2014, And according to this document, it sounds like it was trying to mirror the original agreement that happened in 2004. 24. The reinstated endorsement agreement continued to obligate defendant Dean Guitars to provide Abbott's estate with imported and domestically produced model guitars of each line of guitar Abbott endorsed, and reiterated that defendant Dean Guitars acquired no rights in the trademark or designs for Stealth guitar or the Razorback guitar. Those two shapes, man, they're going to come into play. So again, in the original agreement and the reinstated agreement, apparently the Stealth and the Razorback were not a thing of Dean Guitars' possession. They had no rights, and they couldn't, sign off and trademark those shapes. Bullet point 30. Due to Abbott's untimely death at the young age of 38, he died without a will. Subsequently, Miss Haney lost control of the estate and thus the management of Abbott's endorsement deal with defendant Dean Guitars. After Abbott's death, Vincent Abbott, Vinnie Paul, became the administrator of Daryl's estate. And then also it says here, Abbott's brother and father together managed the estate. With Miss Haney conveniently out of the picture, defendant Dean Guitars then CEO Elliot Rubinson, Evan's father, used the substantial money from royalties earned by Abbott to manipulate Vincent and water down Abbott's endorsement in the reinstated endorsement agreement. With Miss Haney cut out, Miss Haney had no knowledge of any negotiations surrounding the reinstated endorsement agreement or its terms. So, she wasn't there. You know what I mean? She wasn't there, according to what that's saying right there. So these claims of the original agreement isn't the same as the reinstated. She was only there, apparently, for the original. Again, it's messy. It's almost like turning into hearsay from my amateur, very ignorant opinion. Like I said, I don't know anything about the law. It's not what I studied in school. She then learned for the first time that the reinstated endorsement agreement reduced the percentage of royalties due to Abbott's estate from the original endorsement agreement to a percentage that was unreasonable for an exclusive license. Then it goes on to say, once Elliot passed away, unfortunately, Evan took over and things became difficult in working together between Dean Guitars and the Dime estate. According to this, Rita wanted a more of a legacy in Dean Guitars with Dime, and wanted to really pay homage. And hey, I don't blame her, right? I think we all can at least respect Dime. You may not be the biggest fan of Pantera or Dimebag Daryl, but we can all agree, man, phenomenal, insane, amazing musician and amazing person from all the stories we've all heard, right? So, she has every right, in my opinion, to want to have that for her, her boyfriend. So, it's I totally see her side. Yeah, here it is right here. In fact, Mr. Rubinson told Miss Haney that it was time for her to go elsewhere. This is where, a lot of people I saw in the comment section of the Instagram of Dean Guitars were really upset, and, I had to do some digging and reading right here to figure out what's going on. But right here, despite defendant Dean Guitars expressly acknowledging that it had no rights in the trade names or designs of Stealth guitar, Razorback guitar, defendant Concordia, this name keeps coming up, you guys can check out it yourself. But basically, I don't know what Concordia is, but it sounds like it's some third-party entity that was helping with the trademarking stuff, presumably acting as an agent for Dean Guitars, filed at least 2 unauthorized and fraudulent trademark registrations for Razorback guitars in its name, so this shape right here, and also for the Stealth guitar for its shape. Defendant Dean Guitars and Concordia further acquired ownership of the trademark registration in connection with stringed musical instruments, namely guitars and basses, on December 1st, 2004, while Dimebag was still alive. He passed away a week later. This shape was with Washburn, known as the Dime 3. I believe that the Stealth one, is the black and silver one that Ola loves, if I'm not mistaken, right guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. Further, it is unclear how Dean Guitars acquired the rights to use Dime's artwork, including the Dean from Hell artwork, on endorsed guitars, as the endorsement agreement provides no such license for defendant Dean Guitars, and the majority of the artwork was created and used by Abbott prior to entering the endorsement agreement with defendant Dean Guitars. While Dean Guitars claims to have had a license to use the Dean from Hell artwork, the endorsement agreement never grants Dean Guitars the right to use any of Dime's artwork, including the Dean from Hell, Razorback, Stealth guitar designs, or trademarks. In fact, the endorsement agreement does not grant Dean Guitars the right to use the guitar pickups branded Dime Time or the Dean from Hell guitar straps. The endorsement agreement only licenses Dean Guitars, the use of Abbott's name, likeness, photographs, and endorsement of the endorsed products as defined in the endorsement agreement. Dean Guitars has never compensated Abbott for the use of the Dean from Hell artwork, the Razorback, or Stealth trademarks, or Razorback Stealth guitars. That's heavy duty, man. Like, these are all speculations and allegations. This is just one side of the argument. But if that's true, man, and if it's not true, I could make that same face. Like, either way, how this ends, it's like, it's not good for one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, geez, dude, like, these are heavy, heavy, heavy allegations and speculations and claims. Like, this is not little Mickey Mouse stuff. This is Dean Guitars and Dimebag Darrell and the Razorback and the Stealth and the Dime Time and the Dean from Hell. All these, you know, all this like Americana almost. All these things that we as guitar players like know instinctively and instantly. Like, this could all be fraudulent. This could all be, you know, dare I say, illegal. But if not, it's all false claims, and it makes it no better because now it's just untrue. Messy stuff, man. Upon reading this for the first time about an hour ago, I was blown away by like how like heavy duty is. Like the Dean from Hell, man. If Dean Guitars has been selling Dean from Hells illegally for over a decade, dude, could you imagine? I had one back in the day too, just for fun. But my God, man, this is crazy stuff, dude. So count 1, breach of written agreement. Count 2, where's count 2? Unfair competition, false endorsement, false association, and false designation of origin under. Yeah, so I don't even know what this stuff means. But basically, you know, I'm trying to do my best to decipher it for you guys. If I'm way off, let me know. False advertising, okay. Violation of Florida's unfair and deceptive trade practices. Bunch of counts, man. I'm already losing interest. Here's like, you know, proof of what they were doing back in the day. Like, here's proof of this stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Long story short, man, you know, this is heavy duty stuff. This is a jam-packed news story. And again, I am very naive on this, and I'm doing my very best to try to like break it down in layman's terms. And again, if I'm wrong with anything, I sincerely apologize. I'm not trying to put out false information. This is just a reaction. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a kid who plays guitar. So I don't know very much about the legal system. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, regardless, this is a massive story. Bigger than anything that I think I've been a part of in terms of reporting the news since I've been doing this YouTube channel. And it's not a good story, man. Like I said, it's putting me in a bummer mood, and it's a somber story because regardless of the outcome, it's happening. It's happened, and it's messy, and it's not a fun thing to read about and to learn about. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts on all of this? Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. It's a heavy video, you know, heavy story. So I'm going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I'm out of here. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay metal. I'll see you guys next time. Later.